The fight to stop HIV is a huge challenge. We've come a long way over the past few decades, but the fight isn't over yet. It's an ongoing epidemic with over 50,000 new infections last year in the United States alone. That means in the U.S., 136 people get infected every day, and someone new contracts HIV every 10 minutes. But there's hope. Over the years, we've made big leaps towards stopping the spread of HIV. There are a number of options that can help reduce the risk of contracting the virus, like using condoms, taking daily pills known as PrEP, and more. But they don't meet everyone's needs. There are gaps, and thousands of us slip through them. We need more options to stay safe and healthy. That's why research is so important. It takes all of us working together to find new ways to stop the spread of HIV. That's where the AMP study comes in. AMP stands for Antibody-Mediated Prevention. AMP is an important study to test a new HIV prevention method, focusing on a special antibody to prevent HIV. This antibody has blocked HIV in the lab, but the AMP study is going to help us learn if it can prevent HIV infection in people. Check out our other videos and visit our website to learn more about the AMP study and its role in HIV prevention. The AMP study is all about bNAbs, and they might just be a great new tool in preventing the spread of HIV. But what are they? bNAbs are broadly neutralizing antibodies. Our bodies normally produce antibodies which help fight infection and disease. And most of the time, our antibodies do a great job. But fighting HIV isn't so easy. HIV is tricky because every time it makes copies of itself, it changes a little. This means normal antibodies have trouble keeping up with those changes and blocking the virus. But bNAbs are special, rare antibodies. These antibodies target HIV's weakness. They latch on to the virus, covering up the parts that HIV uses to attach to our cells, and those parts don't change, even when HIV is making copies. That means bNAbs can neutralize lots of different forms of HIV from around the world. In one upcoming study, we will test HIV against a bNAb called VRCO1. This bNAb was found in a person with HIV who was able to stay healthy without medication for over 10 years. And if that wasn't exciting enough, researchers have figured out how to make bNAbs in the lab. They're made without using any infected cells or real HIV. So it's impossible for them to cause an HIV infection or AIDS. These special antibodies could play a part in developing new ways to combat HIV infection and maybe one day creating an effective HIV vaccine. The AMP study is an international study that is testing if the VRCO1 bNAb can prevent HIV infection. And the results might just help researchers around the world develop new ways to stop the spread of HIV. Check out our other videos and visit our website to learn more about the AMP study and its role in HIV prevention.
Even with everything we've learned about HIV and all the progress we've made, millions of us are still at risk. Today, we've got a toolbox of options to help us protect ourselves from getting infected with HIV. It includes condoms, testing and treatment, and PrEP, a pill taken daily to prevent HIV, and even more options. But even though these options can be effective, they don't work for everybody, which means there are still thousands of people who are infected every year. If we're going to beat HIV, we need more choices. Thankfully, research is happening every day to help discover new techniques for preventing HIV infection. And that's where the AMP study comes in. AMP stands for Antibody-Mediated Prevention. The information learned in the AMP study will help us find out if a special antibody can prevent HIV infection and could open doors for more research in the future, including helping us make progress toward a vaccine. Studies like this are how researchers find new tools that work, and they need people to help and participate. Check out our other videos and visit our website to learn more about the AMP study and its role in HIV prevention.